That sounds good. I just didn't want to say anything. I'm kind of like Forrest Gump. I just kind of fell into this. So, but I want to introduce my guest. This is I want to be Catherine Dolan.
Yes, Dolan.
Dolan,
yes.
Mickey's sister. Or, you don't know Mickey Dolan?
I don't know Mickey.
You don't know
the
Mickey Dolan? The monkeys. Hey, Mickey Dolan.
I do know that, Mickey.
Yeah, okay.
Now I've revealed my age. This is not a good thing.
Okay, and then of course sitting beside you, Rob. I didn't get your.
Rob Prestowitz.
Right, and you guys, this is new to me. Kevin's been. It's going to be kind of hard because. What is this?
This is a whole new world to you, I know. But Chef Paul came on the show and talked about Urban Promise, and so we're here today to tell you a little bit about Urban Promise.
Right, because he was so excited about it. I mean, he got me excited when he was talking about it and everything. And what a way, just a great way. Another thing, I always say keep kids involved with anything and everything you possibly
Absolutely.
can. And be sure they're learning something from that.
Oh, and they are.
If it's teamwork or whatever. This is fantastic. But before we get into the cooking and everything, let's, Urban Promise School. What is Urban Promise School?
Urban Promise School is one part of Urban Promise. Rob is the executive director of Urban Promise. I'm head of the Urban Promise Elementary School. Actually, Urban Promise has two schools, an elementary school and then a very small high school with a very specific, focused mission. And the school has been in operation since 2002, adding one grade each year. We are pre-K through 7th this year, adding 8th grade next year. And so we are targeting urban children who are at risk, and we have
so it's not an easy situation.
No, it is not.
No. I thought it was one of these, okay, high dollar, you know, how many kids are going to be able to afford to go to this school? But this is I'm very excited about this. So,
yes.
you know, so you're taking kids that are, you know.
We're on the east side of Wilmington.
Oh, my.
We're on Thatcher Street. It's the building where East Side Charter started. Then they moved to Martin Luther King Building, and we're in those buildings. And we have challenges. Now, all of education has challenges today. But we have challenges, but we're meeting those challenges. That's the exciting thing. And we're meeting it with some of the programs like Chef Paul coming in and doing these innovative, creative, thinking outside the box kinds of educational experiences.
Now, when you're talking about this, I guess I'll turn to the executive because he's the one that counts the dollar. Where's the money come from? Is it a nonprofit situation?
It's a nonprofit, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's a constant struggle, but we have predominantly small individual donors, the majority. We don't get any federal government money.
That's why I wonder if it is state or federal. Or
we do not.
No.
We're not averse to that, but so far we haven't had that privilege.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of support from local foundations, have been real supportive, but mostly it's individuals and mostly under $1,000.
Yeah, and you run a school 8th through 7th on that?
We do. I mean, we have about $1 million budget, so that's a lot of small gifts.
I was going to say that's hustling. That's getting out there.
It is hustling. Yes, sir. It's the cost.
really working at it. And let's talk about, because I guess increasing it. Do you have the same, maybe one of the same students as you guys have grown that's still going on through the school, or do you try to promote them to go from here to somewhere else, or how does that work?
Well, one of the challenges is retaining students, because one of the challenges in urban education, the fact that the children move around a lot. And so they might be living on the east side this year, and next year they're living someplace else. So if you can take a child and put the foundation in place and carry that child all the way through, you're going to have the best results.
Yeah.
We have some children that have been with us all the way through. We are adding children. We started the year with 51, now we have 60. So word of mouth, they're coming.
You cannot get better, especially when you're working with that situation, I don't think, than that one-on-one, and you know, and that sounds like pretty much what the school has developed. You got that closeness within classes. I mean,
we have small class size.
Yeah.
We have 12 and under in our classes, and so it's very much one-on-one. It's very personal. You know the child. You can love the child, and you can also extend that love to the family, which is so important. The family's involvement is very important.
It just sounds so much like a teacher, you know, that can really get involved. More like homeschooling, if you would, where you're getting that love and that nurse. You know, because you're talking about that. Do you also, you know, when you talk feeding the kids and stuff like that, that's got to be part of the situation?
Well, in the school, the other thing is the school represents an element of the ministry. So we also run after-school programs and summer camps, and there the food is actually a more integral part there, because a lot of times those kids are missing a meal or they're coming in hungry and
that's what
distracted for sure. And you mentioned homeschool. The high school that we operate really does operate on a homeschool model. So we actually use that curriculum to try to address kids who have dropped out of high school.
And that's, well, I figured out a way we can feed the kids every day if we get more chefs like Chef Paul to come by.
Paul,
yeah, well, now we make that at lunchtime every day, and the whole school attends. We get a lot of chefs from all the different things. They supply the foods. I'm working on this. I'm working on this. I'm working on this. I got a thought, because they're over there, and they're going to be cooking some stuff. They got some things. I don't want to forget about them. We're going to come back. But, you know, what are you doing, Chef?
Today, we're going to make something that we did for the children of Urban Promise. And it was kind of like a shocker when we first said, you know, what are we going to have today? Especially from pre-K up into 7th grade. We said, how many of you had sushi? And everybody went, what? Sushi? Yuck, we're not having sushi. Ew.
Similar to what you said.
Almost the same thing.
Pretty much.
Except they haven't gone fishing and taking it off the end of the hook and throwing it back. But that's the kind of thing that we want to try to introduce. And that's the main goal, is to introduce alternatives to a better food so that they, when they go out there, they can.
Because when we were talking sushi, you know, the first thing that comes to my mind is, you know, raw fish. But that's not all sushi is.
No, no.
Yeah.
And sushi is basically the rice. It really doesn't have anything to do with the sashimi or the fish.
Well, I'll try some of that.
But we have a tuna roll that he's already prepared.
Well, I'm allergic to tuna. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But he's going to do a vegetable roll. This is what he did for the kids.
Yeah. Now you're cooking something. What are you guys?
Well, I'm demonstrating.
That's always good when I see fire and food. You know?
That's for the rice.
Yeah, we're gonna cook some.
That's
rice.
why I said I'll try that. I will try the rice. But we're gonna kind of communicate with you. But I hear so much about school problems and situations, you know. And it just so happens the Reverend Twin B. Brown stopped by today, and he happened to be out there in the audience. And I know he hears a lot of it, and you hear a lot of it on Sunday mornings with the different schools and stuff, and trying to find that way to run a school. Is this, you know, you guys, I guess, are running this all on your own kind of deal?
Well, we have a lot of partners. There's a lot of collaboration. We've probably partnered with over 20 organizations, but Reverend Brown made an interesting comment about that you don't hear much about the positive things. We all know what's in the second page of the newspaper about shootings and educational failure, and there's a ton of it. So our programs target, how do you address that? We know what the problem is, but let's do something about it. And you know, I would love to have Reverend Brown come down, because for the last 4 years, we're the largest employer of teens in the city of Wilmington. We work about 30 kids year-round, and you have about 6 or 8 seniors. We've graduated all of our seniors from high school. We've put all of them in college in the last 3 years. So those are great news. These are kids coming from East Side, from Bennett Street, from Riverside, and it's not an unachievable challenge. It's a challenge, but we know how to do something about it.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of cameras and stuff like that, and the Reverend's going to be doing some stuff with us, so maybe we could pencil that in and get a camera crew down. Yeah, because you know, with the Reverend's, you know, he's been at it for 77 years, and I know him and I've been talking for years, and finally I said, well, why don't you just come and do some shows with us, and you don't have to get up at the crack of dawn on Sunday mornings and things like that. So we're talking, and I think we can arrange that, because he's always been big in the community, and
I can hear that,
and what's happening with that community, and so we definitely will work on doing that. I guess you educator, were you regular?
We got to take a break.
Oh, we got to take.
That's
Why?
He said we'll come back.
This is exciting. We're live on the internet too. Don't forget about that. 28.com every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. We're going to take a quick break, except for the internet people. You get to stay with us, and we'll be right back right after this.